Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everything is indeed working. Welcome to our Halloween D&D stream. It is me hosting today, as I can't remember where my camera actually is to look at it, instead of Nick, because as I'm sure you can tell, Nicholas is not here today. Anyways, I out of habit almost said Kevin is DMing, because the only games I've ever been in is Kevin DMing, but that is wrong. Kevin is also not here today. It is going to be Derek streaming this lovely game for us, so I'm going to pass it off to
No,
him.
you're streaming. You're saying words wrong. Oliver and attempt to flip me off.
Okay, I don't know if we're doing any PvP murder tonight, but Jen's the one I'm going to kill first.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that down.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. One murder
Oh,
before the game began. What?
I just need a please stand by thing on my camera.
Okay, so tonight, I've put this together over the last couple of weeks. One of like 37 different ideas I had. So tonight, we're going to just get together and do something a little spooky, a little bit of a mystery with some added touches there. And I think that uh, what I'll have everybody do, if they're okay with this, is just introduce themselves briefly. And there's not a lot of history to these characters tonight. They're all kind of newbies, so if you have a little something, that's great. If not, can pass it on to the next person. But I will be running the game tonight, and we will be seeing. Well, we'll just be seeing what these fine folks do when put into a position that they can't really get out of. Why don't you start, Chris?
Okay, I'm Chris. I'm gonna be playing my character Dobrin, who is a Loxodon paladin. So he's a big, grumpy elephant man. He's an old man, and he likes following the rules.
I was muted. Good.
That doesn't sound encouraging. Okay. Well, you can. Why don't you go next, Jen?
I'm Jen, and I am playing a wizard tonight. His name is Hans Murdosk, and he is a wizard school dropout. He's not very bright, and that's why he couldn't make it in wizarding school. But he's gonna try his best.
Nods.
Katie?
I am playing Anika, who is a Tabaxi Ranger, and that's all I know about her. That's all I got.
I think that's a good start. We don't really need to know too much more, right?
Sure.
Oliver, and then we'll round out with Jess.
Yes. So I'm Oliver. I play on several of our other nights. I don't know. Tonight, instead of any of those characters, I will be playing Tierhorn, the Hobgoblin Wizard, who is ostensibly an expert on practically anything that you can ask him about. And will certainly let his opinion be known on everything that he really has no idea on. That's me. So that leaves just Jess.
Yes, I am playing Hiss, an Aragonasi bard, who is not very charismatic at all. We're talking like not at all charismatic. Don't ask me how they were bard. I don't know. But I'm gonna pass it back off to Derek.
There's always the lower percentage of the graduating class, so that's how you get low charisma.
These get degrees.
Tonight, things are going to start off just a little different. In that, collectively, you guys have not ever met each other. You are all drifting off to a nice night of sleep and waiting, for the next day's events to take you off to this career as an adventurer, or whatever you really want to do with your life. Maybe adventuring is like the side hustle that you're going to do while you perform, write your play or create your book or whatever you're going to do. But as you lay yourselves to sleep this night, uh, your dreams are troubled, filled with dark, glimmering lights and like a repeated like frequency of sound that that builds till it almost makes your ears ache but stops just a moment, and clearly see a lake, a very large, dark and still lake some distance from you. And around this lake there are trees, large pine, mostly pines and stuff like that, and uh, they are old, probably as old as any tree that you have ever seen in your travels. And just beyond these old trees, you find a small village. And in the center of this village, there is a shop. And at the top of this shop, there is an owl. Well, it is a statue of an owl who stares greedily at a stack of coins. Below him are the words Wise Market. Next to this Wise Market, there's a small tavern. A little bit of smoke wisps from the chimney. From the windows, you can see the hearth is going strong and is illuminating the entire room. There are people in there, but at this distance, it is hard to tell who or what they are. As you find your dreams, the repetitive noise, the images of the shimmering in the darkness, and these in this town that appears to you, that is when you feel the first uh, gusts of bitter, like cold wind, and it strikes you, and your skin immediately raises to its touch, and you realize you're no longer in bed. You're standing just about 10 feet in front of this sign, or of this shop with the owl on top, greedily staring at the coins. And you're standing around a bunch of people that you are not, you don't know. You're just there, and you all, the only sense of the common sense of this is you were in bed and now you're here, and it seems to have happened to all of you.
Well, this is strange. I don't normally
And
whoop out of bed.
yeah, so you have the shop in front of you, the tavern next to that. There's a large mansion, good ways down the road on the western side. Um, and then there are several like farms and tracts of small houses where, obviously residential houses for individuals. But mainly now the streets they're not crowded, but you don't think that, judging by the size of this town, it's a very big town anyway. So crowded streets, you guys are essentially the crowd at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, clearly we have arrived precisely where we're meant to be. Were you
In a
not expecting?
philosophical sense or literal?
Well, both, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you'll excuse me, destiny clearly awaits. Something within this place has called to me, and I shall answer the call.
Do you have to be so dramatic about it?
I'm gonna go to the tavern.
Sounds like a good idea.
Wait,
Yeah.
I was headed there. No, stop, everyone. I have to go first.
Be my guest.
It was my idea.
I could go for a drink or four.
As you change your focus from this and head towards the tavern, you see that the right above the 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 entranceway to the tavern, sorry, there is a sign. Someone took it probably a little bit too literal, as this place is called the Saucy Snapdragon, and there is a picture of a flower being covered by what looks like thick tomato sauce.
Clever.
That's okay.
And as you enter, although the tavern is nearly empty, the air is heavy with lingering spices, hints of cinnamon, pepper, basil, garlic mingle around you. The roaring fire casts playful, dancing shadows against the walls. The warmth provided by the hearth can be felt in every corner of the room. Uh, Immediately to your right, as you enter, there's an older man that stands behind a bar, cleaning glasses. He seems no stranger to work. Years of, you know, uh, years of muscle, and just the look of somebody who's had a long career doing things with his hands. But he does carry a few, more than a few wrinkles around the corners of his currently relaxed eyes. A young woman clothed in a sky blue dress attends to the tables, helping an older woman count out coins. She turns as you enter, and with a warm and welcoming smile, she says, "This is the Saucy Snapdragon. I am Heather. Take a seat. When I am done helping Miss Sweeps, I will be by." And as the you know, and with
Sorry.
that, she turns back and she starts counting again. What was that?
No, nothing. Just wondering what's going on.
Yeah. So there's a large table with several chairs. There are also several smaller tables, a couple of tables that have two chairs at them. The larger table with six chairs. There are a couple of tables that also seem to have no chairs at them at this moment. They're kind of pushed off to the side. Further to the north in this tavern, there is a doorway that leads probably to the kitchen, and where the scent of all the spices is currently coming from.
Are these tables like round tables, or are they rectangular tables?
They're more rectangular, but they have their corners have been rounded off instead of sharp points. They're rounded off, and most of them appear, except for the smaller like single tables, they appear to be heavy like pine. The smaller tables don't kind of match the style of the area. They do seem like they were perhaps imported from somewhere else.
I'm going to just saunter up to one of the larger rectangular tables. If there isn't already a chair sort of at the head of it, the long side, I'm just gonna pull one over there and just sit there as if like, this big table is for me. Just gonna sit there, pull out a pipe, and start smoking it.
Okay.
Yes, acceptable accommodations.
I'm going to sit at a different table, but facing him. Just
Okay.
like
So you got basically across from the large rectangular table, there are a couple of smaller like two seated tables. So you can go over to one of those and you take your seat. Kind of in direct opposition to where he is, so you can kind of look at him. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna pull a chair to like the other side, like directly facing. I'm sorry, I forgot your character's name
Tierhorn.
already, Oliver.
Tierhorn.
Tierhorn, and like just kind of lean and like just kind of furrow my brow just a little bit. Not like intimidating, just kind of like, I'm here too.
And you find Dobrin, you find that your view is blocked a bit now by this tabaxi who has decided to take up a chair, like right in your field of vision.
I'm big. I can look around.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an elephant. I mean,
Yeah.
Literally the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Oh yes. So Hans and Hiss, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna go to the bar and grab a drink or 5. And then I'm gonna grab a seat.
So when you step up to the bartender's like, nice to meet you. So you're not from around here, I take it. My name is Duncan. This is my establishment. Today, we're kind of a little low on things, but we have plenty of fresh water. We have some local ale. We do have some imported halfling mead, and we also happen to have the house special, and we have bucket shots if you wish.
I'll take whatever's the hardest.
That is probably a bucket shot. And he reaches down and he pulls up a large metal bucket. Looks there's a little bit of rust on the bottom of it, and it's filled with. It's hard to tell exactly what it's filled with. And he just reaches down and he pulls out a couple of shot glasses and he just dunks the glass into it. And when it comes up with a smell that is part like old bread and weird. Just it's kind of like the mixture of all the scents you're having in here. This old bread smell, and definitely liquor of some
Okay.
sort.
I'm,
And he sets it down there
I'm gonna
for
take
you.
it.
Yeah.
Just gonna take it, gonna shoot it right back. Just
Okay, so when you take your first shot, it is an interesting mix to say the least. It definitely though, if you don't stop to taste it, it works better as a
that's
drink.
that's a lot of hard alcohol.
And it goes down. You do have that nice like sense of warmth that starts to hit your cheeks and your throat, and it kind of rests though pretty heavily in your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You think this first one is not too bad. Uh, you'd wager a few more, and whatever's in it, you might end up on the floor.
Okay. I. Alright. I'm gonna take a thing of ale back to a table. Not
Okay.
like with the others, but like slightly removed, like enough that I can hear whatever they're saying.
Okay. Yep. So you see, that's what I did not have. Uh, do you identify as a man or a woman or neither
Woman.
or whatever? Yeah, woman. Okay.
Just make life easy.
Well, no, I mean I can work with whatever. I was just asking.
as she comes over the table, then I'm puffing my pipe and I'm looking down this long table at the tabaxi on the other end, and I'm like, yes, that's a fine coat of fur you have there. I once had a nice rug made out of a mountain lion that looked like that. Very nice. And I'm clearly not trying to be intimidating. This is my idea of like, yes, you look good. You look like my carpet.
You can't just say that to people.
You can't just. Yes, you can.
I'm a hobgoblin. I can say that to people.
Holy shit.
He doesn't. He doesn't have. Yeah.
There's no filter.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, Hans, what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna order an ale, and I'm going to sit down at another table because I don't know these people.
Okay. And as you get your drink and everything, and then Tierhorn gives you the compliment. I assume it's a compliment. It sounds like a compliment to me.
He thinks it's a compliment.
Is there anything you wish to address? Anika, you want to comment on your rug-like appearance? Apparently,
I don't know. Oh my god, I'm so taken aback. I don't think I'm gonna say anything, but I am like not sitting like normally in the chair. I'm sitting like the bisexual sit where I'm kind of like sitting on the edge, so that way like I'm so terrible at names. Chris, what's your name again? Oh god.
Dobrin, but you can just say grandfather
Dobrin.
elephant.
Okay, so Dobrin can kind of see Tierhorn, and I can see him as well. So just
Okay.
kind of like this.
Yeah, situate. Yeah, seats are not made to be sit on properly anymore. That's not the way to do it.
Right.
So as everybody kind of has finally, they kind of like, wait, actually, so everybody is now taking a seat, and she, Heather, the woman that had addressed it, has come. She's helped the old woman out of the tavern, and she walks back into the back for a moment and comes back out with looks like a small kind of board, and she's got a little piece of like charcoal. It looks like it's kind of what she uses to write like orders down. She's like, "Well, hi." She looks at the fact that there are plenty of seats available at one table, but you're all just kind of like spread out everywhere. And she's like, "Okay, so where am I gonna start?" And then she starts by looking at Hiss. She goes, and she walks over and she's, "Hey, well, today we have venison stew. We have some potato wedges. We also have goat cheese and bread pudding, grilled onions and carrots. We have a chicken pie, and then we have sweet and sour boar ribs."
I'm good with just the alcohol. I don't need. I'm good on food.
Okay. Would you like something else? I can put in an order as well from the bar.
Give me like another 4 pints of ale.
Okay. And she marks that down, and then she turns and takes the then she turns and looks to Hans. It's like, what can I get for you tonight?
I
Did
want
you-
the boar ribs, but I don't want the sweet and sour. I also want them well done because that's how my mom makes them, and mom knows best.
Okay. Let's see. So boar ribs, plain boar ribs, burnt. Okay, got it.
And potato wedges.
That no problem. She writes that down. You sit down. Then she goes around to Dobrin. You're the next one.
So you know those specials that you just
Yes.
mentioned?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All of it.
Yes. Okay. That is not a problem. We will make sure. Yeah. And he takes that, and then he looks. Okay. So now who have an? Oh yes. Oh, okay. And she bends down, gets really a little too close to your space, and you get that at that moment. It's like, well, what can I get for you today? You see a little bit of a gleam on her eyes, kind of like that gleam you kind of see where people want to pet like somebody's cat or dog or something, and they don't really know the person, but they want to like pet the animal rather than interact with the person. You kind of get that look from her.
I'll just have a big mug of water, and that's it. And it's a personal space if you could just like sprinkle that in.
Oh yes, yes. Sorry. It's not often that we see your kind around here. And then she turns to Tierhorn. And you, sir, what can I get for you?
I require nothing. I am merely waiting for my destiny to manifest. I did a big puff of my pipe.
I'll see if we have anything in the back that can make that happen faster for you.
Thank you.
So as the time starts to go out, she steps out, and just in a matter of a few minutes, they're starting to bring out the plates. Obviously, your your order will take a little longer because it's one of everything. So they are bringing bits and pieces of it out as they go. Um, Besides her, there's a larger gentleman wearing uh, a rather stained apron, but seems to have immaculate hands. He seems to be carrying the rest of the stuff out to help Heather. Eventually, it probably within about 15 minutes, you have everybody's got their orders as was said. She does apologize. They don't have anything that will actually speed up Destiny back there. They look,
Well, it had better hurry.
but they didn't seem to have any. Probably fresh out, but they did. Everybody has your meal, and as soon as everybody has like a meal, she kind of like fades off into the background. But you get a sense that you are being watched. It's more of if there's any movement of they may need something or whatever, we will like swoop in and take care of it because you're like the only customers in there right now, rather than watch them, for sinister purposes. So as your meals come, you find the food is pretty it's acceptable for this area. It's pretty good. The orders are as accurate as they could get them. Uh, and you just start to hear a little bit of rain on the roof. It seems to have metal. They seem to have a metal tiles on their roof, and you start to hear the rain just start gently out there, but it's kind of magnified by the roof. At least now, though, you're in a very warm place, a very dry place, and you have food, and you're at this point where you're all alone, essentially, because even the barkeep just kind of seems to blend in the background. He takes care of the cups and stuff and make sure there are drinks, plenty of drinks, even stuff that you guys didn't order, just available on the tables and stuff. But he never really directly interacts with any of you after the first set of orders.
And I'm just sort of smoking my pipe, and as the night goes on, I'm like sort of nodding off with the pipe still in my mouth, like just very slightly.
Are we tired? Because we were in bed.
You do feel maybe like you didn't get the best night of sleep. You feel like you've gotten some sleep, but probably not the best night of sleep the previous night. So really, as you start to eat and kind of just relax, and the warmth, the heat of the fire, it does start to really work in some tiredness to you. So you kind of find it you're all finding it a little hard to, like, in a completed seated position, stay awake. So if you wish to not nod off any further or whatever, you probably have to get up and move around, get the blood pumping again, because you're really slowing everything down with all the drinks and food. And
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up and walk over to the table that has the most of us at it, slam my hands on the table and be like, why are we here? Why are you guys here? What is going on? I'm fairly drunk at this point as well. So like it is gone.
it requires a fair amount of drunkenness to have a public display like that anyway. So
I'm gonna point at her and say, "Why are you here?"
I don't know. That's why I'm fucking asking. Why are we here? Last
if
I
you
knew, I was in
listen
bed. I don't
to,
know about the rest of y'all.
This happens.
If you
sometimes.
listen to our Mr. Wisdom over here, that it's destiny.
Ooh, destiny.
I'm like half
Sometimes I
asleep,
fall
and I
asleep.
sort of like jolt. I'm like, what? No, I did not
Some-
bring us here. This was not my fault.
Sometimes I fall asleep and wake up in different spots. It
Why?
happens.
I recently took up sleepwalking. Or something.
Well, why? Why do you sleepwalk? Why do you believe so hard in destiny? And what is your issue?
Mom says I'm perfect the way I am.
Maybe your mom's wrong.
so as you're having this conversation, and you can hear the rain begin to pick up. There's a noise from outside that you just barely hear it, but it sounds like it's like a tearing sound,
Oh?
like somebody's torn like a large like piece of paper, like a poster, like when you tear a poster
Yeah.
down from a wall, and it's there, you hear that tear for just a moment, like the ripping sound of that paper, and then you're startled as all of you are startled, like for just a moment, as the door burst open, and the older woman that you saw before, the one counting coins out, she's come, and she is soaked head to toe in rain, and there are bits of, well, other things on her. She's got a little bit of noticeable blood
Oh?
staining the top of her clothing, a couple of splashes of dirt and mud, like, mud specifically now, on other parts of her body. She does seem to have a nice bruise growing, like, on her cheek. And she is intensely in tears. And as you see this, the Heather like bursts from the back, comes around and like grabs her arm and leads her to a table and to a seat and sits her down. And it is really not much that Heather can seem to do to get her attention, to get her to kind of calm down enough to explain what's going on. She's mumbling stuff, but it's all incoherent words at this moment. Doesn't It's just sounds. It's really just sounds. There's not like actually any language there. Uh, so Heather goes to the back, and she's gonna make some. So she's gonna make some tea, and leaving you guys, kind of leaving you with this woman now who's at a table by herself.
Is the door still open, or has it been shut again?
When Heather went to collect the woman, she shut the door behind her to keep the heat in and everything, because
I'm gonna go look out of it into the street to see if I notice any signs of a struggle.
Okay, well, yeah. So you take it you take your step out. You even just looking out. The biggest thing that you see is there are various marks leading from like the front of this tavern to the big estate down the road, and it looks like the marks look like someone was running, maybe tripped and fell in the mud, got back up, probably ran a little bit longer, tripped and fell. Someone who's definitely, you'd probably say it looks like the marks of this woman coming back from the estate to here. Although the longer it rains, some of those things are starting to wash away.
I'm gonna go over to the woman, and I'm just going to like slide in next to her, like gently put a hand on her and go, "Is everything okay?" And that like I don't know how many groups of drunk girls you've been around, but it's like a thing. She's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Like, is there anything I can do? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?"
So we'll come back to you in just 1 second.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you wanted else to do after seeing the trail and the marks at the door? Chris?
Mention it so that the others are aware of it.
Okay. Yeah. So Dobbin comes back in, and there's the explanation of the marks. You go over and you put your hand out, and it does take her a moment or two, and she starts to put things together, and she's like, I'm my name is Miss Sweeps. I work for Melgrim Temple up the banker up at the estate, and I'm we we were we were having a discussion, and he was he was I thought he was drunk at first, but um he uh he just kind of he he was telling me, he was yelling at me, telling me about the problems that I caused, and that you know the that old Marv's fishing expedition was a failure, and that the man owed him so much money, and that it was my fault, and it was the whole town's fault, and all this, and then he well he struck me, and Mr. Temple's always been uh, a grouchy individual, but he's never been violent.
I'm gonna stand up now, still with pipe in hand. I'm like, violence, eh? I'll show him some violence, and I'm gonna make my way towards the exit.
We'll take care of it for you, lady.
Oh,
Is anyone going to pay for their food?
No. Leaves.
I'm just going to leave some gold behind for the very nice woman who served us food and drink. And
it's a hero's dine and dash. It has to happen.
Not on my watch.
No, we just go. We gotta go to this manor, get this man for what he did to this lady.
So as you head out, the first thing you notice, the rain that was like hadn't even been an issue when you first got here is now it's pretty heavy. It's turned the main roadway over to the estate just to a muddy mess. You are it is like super cold. It's like that late fall, early winter rain that just kind of like eats like through your protective like layers and just gets to your bones really
Mhm.
quickly. You have it's only a matter of a few moments, or a few minutes, sorry, walking, that you're able to actually make it to the front of this estate, and the gate is wide open. Um, you do see, like, just in general as you're moving like towards the gate now, you see a little bit of blood like on the gate, just a tiny bit, probably where she perhaps like threw open the gate to leave. You still find some footprints in the ground that's a little more firm here, and it leads to a door that is still partially open, and there's just a shadow, the sliver of light from inside coming uh, out, illuminating a little bit on the ground. You can see, strangely though, it seems like the majority of the windows of this building have had paper put up on the other side to block the sun. Paper or material. Looks like some of it's maybe like even like burlap or something to block out the sunlight. So the only real light that you see is coming from that door being partially open.
I'm gonna stride right towards that door and just burst my way in.
Well, as you enter the main entrance to this area is stacked from floor to ceiling with these bound leather books. They have various dates on them, and they're all marked as like, it looks like it's banking notes, like the days and years, and it looks like this is several years worth of books just piled in stacks all over the place. In the center of this room, there is a table, and and on that table there are stacks and stacks of loose papers, weighed down by various things. There are quills and ink vials and stuff. And beyond that, there's a set of stairs that leads directly upstairs, and there is a door, a closed door that leads to the right. The only two things beyond this stacks and stacks of paper stuff that are kind of visible is there is what looks like a bird cage covered in a sheet right next to the table, and there is a small kind of bloody stain on the floor near the closed door.
Hmm. Hmm.
That looks like blood.
This is strange.
I'm gonna stand in the center of the room, just looking around, and I'm gonna call out, all right, come on out. Who is there? Where are the servants? It is I, Tierhorn. I have come.
And as you start to speak, you hear a very shrill, kind of slightly timid voice come from under the sheet, and you hear, "Don't worry, coins are free."
What is that? You said it was under the
Everybody
sheets,
has,
right?
yeah, under the sheet, yeah.
I'm gonna
Everybody
go
has
look.
to pay taxes.
I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go pull up a sheet. I give no shits.
Well, when uh, having some various experiences traveling around in your lives, a sheeted cage tends to have a bird underneath it.
Yeah.
And when you open this and you pull the sheet off, and there is uh, something that was probably once a bird. It's not that great of a situation now. It looks like its very beak has become extremely elongated and almost needle-like. Uh, Many of the feathers that were once on its body have just kind of molted off and are on the ground,
Oh.
um, or the bottom of the cage, I should say. And while it does have like kind of a bird's head, you notice that its wings have started to like kind of separate a little bit to almost seem more insect-like than the parrot that it probably once was.
Hey, buddy, where'd your feathers go? How'd they fall off?
He goes, "Everybody has to pay taxes."
I shall pay no taxes.
That's tax fraud.
Everybody has to pay taxes.
I slip a gold coin through the cage to the bird.
Okay. And when you put your hand in the cage, let's see. I'm going to see if that actually happens or not. Oh, yes, it does. So, Hans, you put your hand into the cage, and when you do, the bird's little kind of like needle-like beak just plunges down into the top of your hand. You take
Oh.
4 points of piercing damage, and you can feel that kind of just like sucking the blood out through that nose.
Okay. I'm happy for you, man. It
I
looks like
never
it's
claimed
really
to be
fun to
smart.
deal with.
Really hurts.
Yeah, you should probably take your hand out of the cage.
Okay. I pull my hand back.
And as a ranger, that's not like any like necessarily bird that you've seen, but it does kind of remind you a bit of those. They're cave dwelling. They're kind of like aberrations that are like part bird and like part mosquito, and they tend to dwell in large numbers.
That's gross.
Called a sturge.
Hmm.
Like, when you pay your taxes, you're a good person.
But I tried.
don't
You bit
like it.
me.
You're so mean. Thought you were
This
nice.
sorry
Is this by
excuse.
a blood tax?
This sorry excuse for a bird does not interest me. We are looking for its master. Cover that thing up and let us go.
Leave him uncovered and let's go.
But my hand is bleeding.
Deal with it.
So as you pull your hand out and you start to leave, have you decided? Did you want to try to take the stairs up, or did you want to go to that locked or well, not?
I
locked
can.
door.
How
close.
much are you bleeding? I forgot I'm playing a paladin.
Well, I did take 4 points of damage and I only have 9 HP.
Oof.
Yeah, I'll heal you up 4 points of damage.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well,
I have 1 hit point I can heal left.
while they're doing that, I'm going to stomp as loud as I can up the stairs because obviously the master is going to be higher.
You notice as as you clear the wound and you treat it, and you heal the wound. Normally, like your healing magic, especially a wound like that, would kind of just leave nothing behind. There'd be no scarring, no nothing. It's fresh. It's the power of that magic is so so good normally that it looks like nothing had ever really happened in an area. But the problem is now there's a black circle around where that beak had pierced the arm
Oh.
or the hand.
That doesn't look too good.
Awkward. I'm gonna follow.
Does it hurt anymore?
Oh no, don't you don't feel any pain. All your hit points are back.
Well, if it's a blood tax, then maybe this is just the proof I paid. It's like a stamp
Oh my
to get
God.
into an 18 plus club.
Is there anything that like rolling a medicine check would be able to tell?
Sure.
17.
Yeah, you're well, actually, I need to double check something, but I believe um your lay on hands. See, I'm gonna get that.
Oh, it can also cure a disease or neutralize a poison.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if it does both.
No, you have to choose which one you do.
Okay, yeah, remaining pool or 5 HP to cure disease or neutralize poison. Okay, so yeah, at this point, you think there is possibly a disease that looks kind of like you're not sure what kind of disease, but it is definitely like kind of that bruising that kind of predates like the beginning of some outbreak of something.
Well,
How
I
bad is
can't
it?
heal that now.
What's wrong with it?
But you could
Uh,
probably fix
and
that
fix?
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll fix you tomorrow. She's not gonna die. He? Are you
Yeah,
a he?
I'm a
He's
he.
not gonna die before tomorrow, right?
I mean, judging, okay, not from that.
No
You
promise.
don't know that. You can't really speak for any other thing, but not from that. I can't say, yeah, no, he's not going to die, because then what happens if I can't give him limited
Then I'll have
immortality?
plot armor.
So, yeah, a little bit of a mark there. Um, it should be relatively easy to get rid of, like when you have the full means of doing that the next, after your long rest. So you make your way up the stairs, and so far you actually haven't felt any of the effects of anything besides the initial attack. As you head up the stairs, you just find that the entire upstairs, to the fact that um, even just at the top of the stairs, you can see it. The entire house, the entire upstairs has been filled to the brim, almost unmovable, with these bank books,
Okay.
transactions, and stuff, top to bottom. The stairs creak, and like there's a sense that maybe if you put a few more books up here, you might even cause the entire top floor to just come down. It does not look as sturdy as it does from the outside.
Hmm.
Order.
Yeah. There's a lot of damn bank books.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like their dates and ranges, and they go at least, like, some of these dates are at least 30 years ago.
Do I
So,
see any one I can grab that's not gonna just make things go?
oh yeah, you can pull one off one of the tops of the stacks and do it, in such a way to make sure that you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you open it, it's just um it's got like an account's name, and this one actually, the one you found is someone named Marvin.
Marvin.
There is no last name. Something. There's a scribble under it that's supposed to be like maybe the company or the job or something, but it's really badly written, so it's really
Yeah.
hard to take something to make out that. But then beneath it, it's just like a running tab of operations costs, and borrowed this much for fishing gear, borrowed this much for bait, borrowed this much for new nets, borrowed this much for clothing, returned this much. It's just a running tab of this gentleman's fishing thing. And as you just poke through the pages, you just find that further and further it goes on, it's just all red. It's all borrow,
Oh.
borrow, borrow, and no no payback,
Well,
and you get
somebody didn't pay their taxes.
and you get to the very end of the book though, and then there's just like it looks like he's got close to about 3,000 gold in debt, and then there's just a relatively recent signature and entrance of probably about 3 days ago that says he has paid 5,000 gold.
That's weird.
After looking through like page and page and page, all you're seeing is red, 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 red,
Yeah.
red. And all of a sudden, at the very, very end of this book, although there's still, I mean, the end of where it's written, there's still a few more like blank pages that could be used for later. But the last transaction that's written in this book is a repayment of 5,000.
A couple days
It,
ago.
it was a couple days
Now,
ago. Yeah.
is each of these books a person?
Yeah. Each
Can
of
we
them.
believe that?
Yeah. When you can take a look at a couple of other ones, you
Yeah,
move
that's what I
around.
was gonna say. I was gonna see if any of the other ones had like a similar.
Well, they're similar in the sense that they are a list of transactions, but most of them seem more like traditional businesses. Like one, they have the wise market for 2 months ago, and it shows like that the wise market was running like a couple hundred gold behind, but then caught back up and paid that. It seems to be give or take a little bit here or there. Obviously, he's running these as a bank, so he's kind of like relying on some debt so that he can like get more in the end.
Yeah.
They appear to be the wise market appears to be paying like you know along the way you would expect a business to be paying if things are relatively okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And looking around and you find um, all these books in the stacks, they are perfectly labeled as to who they belong to. Once you've like seen a couple, you realize how they're labeled, and you're able to check it. And um, Marvin's entire kind of bank history of the couple of books that you look at, it's all running large debts and never paying it off until
Uh-huh.
then. And the other places you find the other ones you look at, they all appear to be like perfectly normal, kind of the way you would expect businesses to be run if they have to take credit for something for someone
Okay.
and paying it back. And it
So
seems to be
now
everybody in
that
the town. Yep.
now that we're upstairs, what other exits are there up here?
There are, beyond the stacks of books and everything, there are several more doors, but even from your point of view, you can see that it just seems that these rooms are just packed with more books. So you can get through. There's enough room, but it
Yeah.
still seems like you'd just be moving into another room full of books.
While they're going through all these ledgers, because I'm not really interested in going through this person's accounting information, I am just like pushing my way down this hall. And even if there is just enough room, I'm just like knocking everything out of the way, just making a mess. Hammering on each door, like, "Are you in there?" And if there's no answer, I'll just like check in and go door to door.
Yeah. So you end up having to fight your way through and move books to get to doors and everything. It seems like the upstairs has just kind of just been like all just taken over by these ledgers, and you come to these rooms, and uh, there are three empty rooms up there that look like they were designed for children at one point. They have much smaller beds, and they have various. Two of them have very floral kind of arrangements, and uh, there are some like various toys and stuff like on the shelves, like old like teddy bears and like wooden blocks and stuff like that. And the third room that you get to is much the same, although this one has not been maintained well. The cabinets, the beds, all that stuff is kind of crumbled onto the ground now. under the weight of a lot of these tax books or these ledgers. There's no, apparently upstairs there doesn't appear to be anybody around, just more and more paperwork.
The woman in the tavern who was injured, she said her name was Mrs. Sweep.
Yeah, Mrs. Sweeps. Yep.
What are the chances of being able to find her book?
Well, that's a good question. It doesn't. It takes you a little while, but you do find it. And you do find that, or at least you found one. The newest one that you could find is about 2 weeks old. And it lists her name, her first name being Rose, and the writing is clear enough that you can see that she is essentially the assistant to Melgrim Temple, which is the proprietor of the bank, the owner of this estate, and the gentleman that gentleman that owns the estate and has been doing the tax work or the all that paperwork. She is like his assistant slash maid. She seems to be given, they account for her weekly pay. They account for like a couple of times where she's needed to take advances on things, such as a new dress for services or something, and the rest of the time it just seems pretty straightforward. She gets paid, like the amount that she gets paid is listed there. The amount of taxes that she has to pay for the city is listed there. You know, doesn't seem to anything out of the ordinary for her information.
You're muted right now.
Interesting.
Frustrated that I haven't found anything in any of those rooms out here. I'm going to stomp my way back down on the landing so I can see, down into the main hallway there.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be like, if he won't come out, somebody should just burn all of these books. Show him what I think of his taxes.
And you stomp. Okay, as you start stomping, I need like everybody on the top floor to make a dex save.
Dexterity.
no.
I can't believe you're gonna do this to us.
I got a 9.
Oh, that was so close.
I got a 22.
I got an 18.
What was that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I got a 22. I got a 9. Chris,
I
what
got
did you say?
Oh, go ahead.
18.
18. Okay. Jen?
I got a 13.
13. Katie?
12.
12. Okay. Oh, wow. So who got the 9? That was you that got the 9, right?
I got a 9, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what you end up actually doing is causing a stack of books to come down right behind you and knocking you flat, like prone to the ground. You're covered in these books now.
Well, that's what you get.
And the rest of you manage to kind of move out of the way and give him some space. You're not injured. You're just knocked down.
I'm gonna
What you saw.
stand up very angrily. I'm like, that. These books are clearly asking to be burned.
That's valid. I don't think I can burn anything though. I don't think I'm that kind of magic.
From the stairs though, you hear a thump downstairs.
Aha! There's the coward. I shall find him now, and I'm gonna push through everyone to very quickly get out of this situation and head downstairs.
I'm gonna follow. Follow.
Yeah. So as you guys as you untangle yourself from the various books and get up, you hear the thump and you make your way downstairs and you open the door. And the first thing that you notice when you open the door is it does have that scent of like old blood.
Oh yay!
Just kind of hanging in the air.
My favorite. 10 out of 10.
And in the center of this room, there's a large, like oak framed bed. The mattress is irreparable. It cannot be repaired. It's irreplaceable. It's not irreplaceable. Sorry. Let me look for the word I'm looking for right now.
It must
It is.
be replaced.
Yes, it
Hmm.
definitely needs to be replaced. There are feathers and blood and papers all over the place on this bed. There are several marks of blood, several drops of blood, and like a couple looks like these drops that have then just been kind of drug across the surface of the floor at a few places. There's a cabinet uh, near the front of the bed, or near the head of the bed, sorry, and there is a small desk with a lamp. The lamp is currently off. The desk is looks like it's been all the doors have been open and all the contents inside the desk have been like spread all over the floor.
Somebody needs a filing cabinet, like for 20,
Yeah,
maybe more.
that's not. Yeah, it's not. There's a lot of things that could make this a little this house a little more homier and less attack of the books.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, the mattress is ruined. The bed frame itself seems to be okay. There's no sign of like anybody in the room until you look up in the right hand corner and kind of just seemingly attached to the corner is this older man hunched over, kind of looking features, uh, very thick glasses, uh, kind of a perched on a very small kind of stub of a nose, and there's a lot of teeth, probably a bit more teeth than any human should have at that moment. And as you enter the room, he just kind of reaches his hand from across the room. The arm stretches and stretches and stretches, and this hand comes at you, Tierhorn.
This is weird.
And he you now feel this hand like wrap around your throat. You are basically grappled. You can try to escape when it comes up to your turn. But you're kind of restrained at this second. And it looks like he's trying to like kind of choke you out, but he's not quite there yet. He does definitely have a hand on your throat though.
I'm just going to like grab at the arm and try to rip it off. And somebody get this arm off of me.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you give me a yes. Why don't you give me an why am I blanking right now? Athletic, yeah. Athletics check to try to try to like grapple your way out of this hand, basically.
That's going to be a 5.
Yeah. So at least for right now, you're trying to push it off and everything, but you find that this hand has this like almost like there's like a lot of strength in this rubbery arm, and you feel like the hand is kind of like almost like a lamprey. It's like little teeth are starting to like lock in on this hand.
I'm gonna pull out my battle axe and chop the arm off.
That will be possible. Why don't we have a quick initiative? have a quick initiative for the first like real battle of the.
I got an 8.
I got a
I
3.
also got an 8.
So
I am
one.
prepared. I got a 17.
Okay. Chris, you said 8.
Yes, also 8.
Katie.
And
I'm sorry, you broke up for just a second.
7.
7. Okay. And Jen, I missed your number too. Sorry.
3. Also, can I have a request? I have a request, but can you honor my request?
Sure. What's up?
I want to make all of my rolls with a disadvantage because my intelligence is so low.
That's fine by me if that's what you
I
do.
mean, I feel like
Yeah.
a +2 is already bad enough.
Yeah. Why don't you wait until a few rolls to see how bad it's gonna go?
It'll be great. It'll be fine.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, so let me see. I just got to double check this because we actually have 3 people that are on 8 right now.
Do them in alphabetical order.
My modifier is +1.
Yeah. Oliver, what do you have for Dex?
My dex is 12.
So you're also a +1.
Yeah.
Okay, well that answers that much. I will do I'll do the 2 of you. Okay, yep, I'll do it in that order. Okay, so Hiss, you will go first. As this, you've come in this room. This guy is kind of like adhered to the corner of the ceiling, and he just shoots his little hand out and is now grabbed Tierhorn by the throat and appears to be trying to choke him.
What? Oh, it's me, isn't it? We're good. We're doing
Yes,
good tonight.
Jess.
Mhm.
It's okay. It's okay. Yes, Jess.
I am gonna go at the thing holding him. I'm just gonna slice at it with my rapier.
Okay.
Let's see.
That
15
arm
to
is a
hit.
15. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that will hit.
Okay. I got scared.
Mhm.
7 damage.
Okay, so you stab forward and you connect with the arm, and it's kind of almost like punching through something kind of rubbery.
Okay.
When you pull your blade back out, you don't notice like any kind of fluids on it or anything, but there is a slight like drip of a darker fluid from the hole in that arm. It doesn't seem to have completely kept it from doing its thing, but it does let out a slightly anguished snarl.
Okie dokie.
Uh, Chris, Dobrin's turn.
Dobrin is going to take his spear and aim for the other end of the arm, wherever it's coming out from.
Okay, yeah. So from the creature's basically up in the corner of the ceiling. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we have?
We have a 7.
Okay. Throwing the spear or stabbing with it?
Stabbing with it.
Yeah. So you stab up, you manage to hit the side of the wall. For this thing that seems kind of sticky to the wall or everything, it moves pretty quickly, dodging your attack this time. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
No.
Okay, Tierhorn, you've got the creature trying to choke you out.
Right.
You are restrained, but that does not prevent you from actually attacking. So,
I'm pulling out my battle axe, and I'm using booming blade. I'm going to let out this this like chant underneath my breath, as I pull the battle axe up and try to like chop the arm off as it's grappling me.
okay.
So that's going to be a 7 to hit.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Actually, can I use the inspiration?
Yes,
we gave
yes.
us all the inspiration.
I
We might as
Yes,
well
you
use
forgot
it.
can.
we had in-
Yeah. If I don't use it now, I feel like I'm gonna waste it later, anyways.
Yes, you can.
So
You can use it.
that changes it to a dirty 20.
Okay, so that will hit. So it looks like you're having some trouble getting this thing going. Maybe your auctions get cut off just a little too much now, but you manage to then right your strike. And how much damage do you do?
That is gonna be. Oh, that's a full 11 damage.
Yeah, at that point, you cut through the arm, and the creature just does not seem to have like after you've done that, like the creature in the corner just falls to the ground.
Okay. If it's still alive, and it moves, it's not gonna take 1d8 thunder damage.
Yeah. No, it's definitely dead. You definitely that strike seemed to be enough to cause it full shock and finish it off.
I'm going to just like pull the limp, hopefully limp hand away from my throat, throw it down, and be like, this place definitely needs to burn.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah. So looking around now, like I said, there's a mixture of papers and all kinds of other things on the uh, feathers and blood on the bed, and there's this creature, and that's pretty much nothing else really has changed in the room. He definitely looks to have been human at one point, but there's something not quite. There's something that's kind of more to it now than just human.
Um, Now, I I am a foremost trained expert in all things supernatural. Um, and my expert opinion here is that we perform an exorcism on this house uh, in the form of lighting it on fire.
Sounds like a good idea to me. After that shit, fire. I don't have fire. What?
Where are we gonna get some fire?
2 votes for fire.
Sounds
Um,
about right.
I don't like resorting to arson, but there's definitely something wrong with this house.
Arson.
It has enough kindling.
The owner is dead. So
Alright, let's leave and set the shit on fire, yo. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna make my way back to the front room then. And like, fear not, I shall summon the flames that shall envelop this house, in purifying flames.
Yeah.
as you walk out, you hear there's only 2 things that are certain: death and taxes. All
Leave,
people must pay their taxes.
leave the bird here.
Yeah,
He shall be
yeah.
fine.
What
Yeah,
if?
set the bird on fire.
No, we should take the bird with us.
Dude, it fucking stabbed your hand.
Yeah, he was just
No.
scared.
What? Was he scared? Was he
was
really
scared.
scared? I
Maybe
don't
he
think
was
so.
just scared.
Do you see what an abomination that thing is?
He's just
Yeah, that's like not a
Naked,
bird
losing
anymore.
his feathers.
Okay,
It's
if you want to
fine.
save the bird, you can stay in here and save the bird while we set the place on fire.
No, I don't want to get caught in the fire.
That's what I thought.
Never hear the end of it from my mother.
Dobrin, is there anything that you want to do at this point?
Have we seen all there is to see in the house?
Yeah, you're fairly certain that this is the last room. I mean, there is like the main room. The rooms upstairs, they were kind of just all packed with the paperwork
With the
and
book.
stuff. Yeah, but I mean, the only thing you really didn't really do is kind of like examine the papers that were on the bed, or you know, if you really want to get nitpicky about it, you guys didn't loot the guy that nearly choked Tierhorn out. So,
Well, I don't want to get the loot, but I do want to examine those papers.
okay, so let's see. Okay. So let me take. Okay. Once again, they all. There's a couple of letters addressed to Melgrim Temple about. It seems that there's an investigator who's trying to find out how Marvin found a large sum of money. But all of his debts were paid, and Marvin was asking about property in a distant land. And this investigator has kind of sent all these letters to the banker here. And then the last two letters make mention of whatever you do, if the mirror arrives, don't look in the mirror, and that's all it says.
Do I see a mirror? Without looking in the mirror, do I see a mirror?
You turn, oh, there it is.
Stare at itself in mirror.
Oh, hey.
There is there is a cabinet in there. You don't see another mirror in here, but you imagine, though, if there were a mirror in here, it probably could be within the cabinet. But the cabinet is closed. You haven't opened the cabinet.
Okay, we're burning the cabinet.
Burning
burn
the
the
cabinet,
cabinet.
burning the house. Okay, no
The
problem.
cabinet is in the house. It will burn, yes.
Yeah, but
Fire good, house bad.
mirrors are glass. Those don't burn.
My cleansing flames shall consume everything within the estate. Of this, I
Your
have no doubt.
cleansing
Indeed, I have been
flames.
well trained.
I almost said your cleansing frames.
You've
Well, you're
been
the
pretty
expert.
quiet there, Anika. Is there anything that you want to say or do with the not bird and their beginning to get ready to torch the house?
Oh no, it's gross and it needs to burn. I don't care.
Okay, so I take it nobody wants to open the cabinet. They have enough proof that they don't need to look for the mirror,
Yeah.
which is fine by me. And you step out and you start the fire.
So the way that I'm doing this is that everyone sort of gathers in the front room there, and I'm gonna have them all move back to a safe distance as I stand before them and hold out my hands and I'm like, "Oh, ye cursed place, with your dark spirits and your horrible bird creatures, I consign you to the flames as such." And I'm gonna cast Burning Hands all over all of the stacked documents here.
Oh, wouldn't you just be surprised? Those documents are just, I don't know, they're very flammable. And it is only like a matter of seconds before there's fire everywhere. There's fire on the cage, there's fire Like the only spots that are currently not on fire is very little bit where you guys are standing, and the outside where it's raining.
And I'm gonna turn to everyone else as everything is burning across my arms, like that's what I think of paying taxes, and just stroll off.
Sigh.
Yeah.
Why are you so dramatic, sir?
So the house burns. All the tax records. Now you've now actually freed this entire community from their tax debt by burning all their records. So
Anarchy.
yeah. So
What will happen to the infrastructure, though?
the house is on fire, and from a distance, you can, if you continue to watch it, it doesn't go out. It just keeps burning. It seems to find more and more sources of fuel, especially when it hits the upstairs and there's all those documents and dust and everything there. So just you can either spend the time watching it burn, or you can go back somewhere else. It's up to you guys.
Gonna go back to the tavern and get more drink.
I didn't finish my dinner.
And we should probably check on Mrs. Sweeps.
Yeah.
So you make your way back to this tavern, and as you do, you pass the shrewd marked, the mascot, the wise looking owl staring at a pile of coins. You can see a lone light on in this shop right now, and beyond that, you come to the tavern, and you're greeted with a sight that you're not at all, not at all surprised about, but considering everything that's happened, uh, just another weird thing to add to this. The bartender is leaned over the body of Miss Sweeps, who she does appear to be alive. She does appear to be injured, and he is tending to her wounds. The whole back end of the tavern is opened. Vaguely human-sized shape, Kool-Aid manned his way through the wall, basically. There's this opening, and there's muddy footprints that lead off into the rainy woods. Apparently, the woman, the server Heather, is gone.
What happened to Heather?
It's like,
I
well, when you guys left, when you left, Marvin came in. He was talking to us about this new source of income that he had, and he was talking about how he was going to buy the whole town. And then when we, kindly told him to shut up because he's never really had a penny to his name, he got mad and he struck me and he struck Mrs. Sweeps or Miss Sweeps.
Oh shit! Where the fuck does motherfucker go?
And and he kind of ran off to I think he went to his cabin.
Where's that?
Far to the north, through the woods. I could lead you there if you want. Just he calls over John, the cook, and tells John to kind of take care of Miss Sweeps, and so I can lead you there, but I won't. I don't. I don't want to. I don't want to face him alone. So
No, that's aight.
Yes, someone should go there to inform him of the tragic loss of his mansion and all of his terrible tax documents. tragically in a fire in the middle of the rain somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Tragically, in a fire.
Fire, yeah. It's like,
Tragically.
yeah. So Marvin is this way, but like, before, as we go along, like, I wanted to say that, like, it's really strange that you guys all arrived here tonight, considering that we haven't had too many visitors, recently. And then you arrive, and then all this stuff happens. But look, I'm not accusing you, because I don't believe any of you actually caused any of this. I just
Of
think
course
that
not,
you may have brought it with
especially
you.
not the fire.
You may have brought it with you, and that is a problem. So I'm going to show you where it is. But as we go, we're going to have to. It's going to be pretty dark. The woods are pretty thick around here, so you're going to need to stay with me, and we're going to need to be quiet. There tend to be large, bears out here.
Bears.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my.
a lot of bears. But if we stay on the path, and we cut closer to the edge of the lake, we shouldn't encounter any bears. So
Well, clearly, as I correctly surmised from the start, it is our destiny to be here tonight.
Oh.
Therefore, I bid you lead on. We shall go.
okay. So as you go through, I mean, these trees, the pines and everything, but as you get a bit further, you start to see these twinkles of light, like fireflies every so often. But they are kind of like the reverse. They're these dark. Instead of being this light, it's a moment of darkness that is like darker than even the dark around. So it does kind of contrast with your vision. You see these every so often, and you feel just a general sense of the woods kind of getting closer and kind of closing in on you guys as you go, and this bothers you a lot as a ranger. This seems very unwood like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I do a nature check on like the inverse firefly things?
Yeah. They appear to just, if you're not mistaken, they might be fairies, or they might be like if they aren't the fairies themselves, they're kind of like evidence, like the kind of aura of like fairies that you can't see. So those sparkles would be like the moments when you can almost see them.
Okay.
They tend to follow the same kind of path that you guys are at, and you make your way. The first thing you come to is there's a small fishing shack, like really nice, like at the edge of this lake, and in the fishing shack you can see a small boat right tied up near the edge of the lake, kind of be pushed out. It's nothing but like a at the most like a two-seating kind of canoe-like thing. Uh, the shack itself has the shack is wide open. There's fishing tackle and a few rods and everything, and there is something covered in like black silk that is about 4 foot tall and about 2 feet wide.
Like a bundle?
Looks like more of an object covered by that.
Oh, like a piece of fabric over it?
Yeah, like a piece of fabric over. Yeah,
Okay.
black silk over this object. It
I'm
does
mutilated
definitely look.
bird. I'm out.
It does definitely looks out of place.
Oh, great man of destiny, what do you think?
So his cabin's about another 10-minute walk from here.
This does not interest me. We should go to the cabin. But if you wish to check it out, feel free. I'll stand back here.
So does anybody wish to do anything, or gonna move on?
I'm gonna move on. Keep on trucking, truck,
Chris,
truck,
are
truck,
you?
trucking.
Is Dublin?
No, let's
you
move on.
thinking?
No,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
tired and wants to be done with this and back in his bed.
So as you move on past this fishing shack and you follow the edge of the lake, you start to hear like giggles, and you then come like over this short hill, and there's the shack. It's probably very old in its make. A lot of heavy woods, but it looks to lean slightly to the left. There's a door. It's wide open. The steps leading up to this place are covered in dirt and muck. It looks like something has been like kind of walking heavily through the mud to go inside. There is a chimney, but there doesn't appear to be kind of any smoke coming from that, and there doesn't appear to be any lights coming from inside the cabin at this moment. It is kind of surrounded. It's in a small opening, surrounded kind of by these trees, and the door is open. Like the door, yeah, the door to the cabin is slightly open.
I'm gonna step
Time to
forward
pull
now.
it, man, this time.
I have my
Yeah.
spear
Yeah.
ready.
I'll step forward. I'll take the lead and push my way into the house. And I'm gonna call out. All right, where are you hiding? Don't make me burn down this cabin too.
As you step in, you notice in this part of the room there's a stove that's kind of attached to the chimney. It would be kind of used for both heating and cooking and stuff. Um, Next to that stove, a little bit of space between the stove and that, there's a table and several chairs that looks like it's been moved recently. And there is a carpet, just like a small rug under that table, that's kind of bunched up in a couple spots. That kind of indicates that, yeah, indeed someone has pushed the table like when it was on that rug. Um, in this thing, you just see the traditional like. There's a couple of mounted heads, like trophies for this person. There's some fish kind of on the walls, kind of like larger fish with measurement marks and stuff. And this seems like a real, like, kind of hunters fishers kind of cabin. Um, Beyond, uh, this is all kind of like a single room. There's no upstairs. There's no noticeable downstairs. Um, no other rooms here. Um, Beyond that, you can see the windows that lead out towards the back, and you could start to see that there's a little bit of a shadow that kind of moves in the back as if it's kind of animated by light, but there doesn't appear to be any source of light.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just gonna take in everything that's here, and when I don't immediately see a person in here, I'm just gonna turn back towards the group and say, "Well, clearly this coward has fled before my might."
Oh yeah, fled before your might. nods. Sure, if that's what you want to think, buddy.
There's a thump on the floor underneath.
Oh.
All right, well, start checking for little trapdoors.
I'm gonna thump back.
And you stomp back, and then a second later, it's two much stronger thumps that actually cause several items in the room to rattle, and a couple fall off the walls. It's very easy to see now, as things have moved and shook a little, that there is like a trapdoor leading to the basement, or to a basement.
I saw that. I just did not think it was important.
I'm gonna thump again, just for good measure.
So you thump, and it responds. Whatever is below responds with 3 thumps.
Dum dum dum.
Well, it knows how to
Dum,
count.
dum, dum.
You said there was a trapdoor, right? And that's what we.
Yeah, there's a door. Yeah, you'd have to move the table a little bit, and then you could lift the door underneath. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
When you lift and open that door, you notice that immediately it's nice and icy cold down there, like more so probably than any temperature regular. Any
Mhm.
basement should be.
Yeah.
There's a nice little. You get your breath automatically, but can't really see much of anything. It's dark down there, and you do hear like Heather's voice. It's like, "Oh, it's good. Someone's come to help."
I'm sus. But I'm
Um,
gonna
Well,
go.
I'll go down there.
I'll also go down. Yes, of course we have arrived at a most timely fashion, of course, to save you. That was clearly why we came.
Let's see. You have dark vision. Okay. I'm trying to see.
Do I have dark vision?
No,
Dark
I
vision
don't
helps you see.
think you do.
No,
That's what I
I
was
do
double
not.
checking.
No.
So,
Oh well.
Tyrone.
I think it's just Annika and I.
Yeah, Tyrone, you head down first. I'm sure one of you have a torch, so you go down with a light source. Um, and as you head down, you see Heather. She's kind of crouched in a corner, with like a stick in her hand, like she wants to swing it at things. Obviously, once you introduce the light, she kind of has a grasp of what's a little going on. And in the center of the room, you see an older man, um, who seems to be sleeping on a bed of leaves, and like just above him, like kind of floating above his head, there is this thing.
A thing.
Oh yes, sorry. Here it comes. It's dark. It's shadowy. It seems to have um, what you do see from it, with the kind of tendrils around it. These tendrils from its hand seem to be like attached to this man's face, and it has a very large, toothy grin. The man seems deep in sleep and very but very troubled sleep.
Hmm.
We in a nightmare in a nightmare.
And that is a visual picture for you, to get a similar idea of what it looks like.
Ooh.
Oh,
This
yay.
thing is kind of attached to his head, and it seems to be feeding on whatever
Oh
whatever it is like invoking in him.
Okay.
About 10 feet away from it, there is a large mirror just kind of propped up against the wall. And
Oh, a mirror.
as you like kind of look in that kind of direction, I need you, not expecting it, I need you all to make a wisdom save as you come into the room.
Can
Oh,
I have
God.
advantage because I knew about the mirror already?
Sure.
I rolled a
Sure.
5.
You can all have advantage. That's fine.
Oh.
no, I'm disadvantaged.
Okay, yep. You can be
Natural 20!
Advantage gives me a
I
12.
got an 8. 8.
I got a
25.
21.
18.
So we got an 8. 8 was the lowest number, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you'll look at that, and that was you, Hans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As you all look at briefly look at this mirror and then avert your gaze, like this, the second you actually physically see it, you are able to see kind of out of the corner of your eyes, as uh, as Hans kind of walks out of the mirror.
Oh. Oh, okay. This is scary.
And
Like a clone Hans?
yeah, like his reflection kind of like walked out of the mirror. Because you don't see it once it walks out of the mirror, you don't see it reflected back in the mirror.
It is my expert and informed opinion that mirrors do not usually function like this.
No shit, Sherlock.
It's me.
So there's a Hans, there's a particularly evil grinning Hans out of the mirror. There's this other creature that's kind of like feeding on this guy who seems to be deep in sleep. And Elizabeth makes a run for, not Elizabeth, wrong one, wrong character, wrong story. Yeah, Heather makes that run for up the stairs, essentially leaving you all behind to deal with this. But since you've given enough distraction to all the things there, that she can escape.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to deal with both of these shadowy demon bullshit. Second one.
I know how to do that, and I'm gonna have to axe.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna prepare my rapier.
Yeah, so I will need initiative for everybody.
13.
5.
I got a
11.
natural 1 for 2.
Okay, I got it. Okay, you said 13, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay, then I got the 2 for Oliver, the 5 for Jen. Okay, Katie, I missed your number again. I'm sorry.
I actually didn't say it this time. 22.
Oh shit.
And Chris, then you said something.
E-
Maybe I don't know. I missed that one. Sorry.
It's fine. 11.
Okay, so Nika, you will actually go first right now.
So, how close am I to the horrible tentacly nightmare thing?
You are within about 25 feet from it. About 25 feet or so. If you just, those of you that just came down the stairs.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk like a little bit closer and like take just a swing at it with one of my short swords.
Okay. By all means, go for it.
Nat 20.
That will hit.
I can't read. 8.
8. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you strike at it. I mean, it doesn't seem to have a particularly solid form, but you're fairly certain that when you pull your blade off, you pull some of that black smoke with it. So you've definitely taken some of it away. And then it choosing to okay. Okay. I need 1 second. Yeah, okay. So that actually is not I forgot you don't actually get a save for that, do you? Damn it. Okay.
Am I dead?
Nope. I have to do a little more math than I thought for just a second. Yeah, so nope. Actually, that actually does not work. Okay. So it attempts to cast a spell, but there's something that when the spell goes off, there's something that kind of keeps it from, in fact, affecting any of you. You're not quite sure what it is, but it seems a little upset about it. So, Jess, it's Hiss's turn.
Okay, it be my turn. Well, I am going to go after our nightmarish, the tentacly one that had the things on the guy.
Yep.
Yeah, with my rapier, because that's all I really got for you.
Okay.
Let's roll. Oh, that's a 10 to hit.
You got your inspiration still, I think.
I do.
Yes, you still have
I'm gonna
inspiration.
use it, because why not? Oh, okay. That's a 24 to hit. Assume that one's gonna hit, right?
What was that again? Sorry.
24 to hit on the
Yes,
second
24
one.
will hit. Sorry, yes, absolutely will hit.
4 damage! Oh, why?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to do?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, then we're going to go back here. Okay, Chris, Dobrin's turn. Sorry.
I am going to take my spear two-handed and jab it at the drapey finger guy.
Okay.
I'm using my inspiration because that was a 5.
Okay.
Not 20.
Okay. There you go.
So 2d8. Okay. 14. 14 damage.
And you doubled that for the crit, right?
That is with the doubled crit. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, what? That's a thing.
Yeah, when you roll a crit on an attack, you double the dice for the damage.
I never knew that. Oop.
Did we miss that somewhere?
That's
other
what makes
games.
crit special.
Oh, that makes sense. It's fine.
Okay. So you charge in, you stab into this thing. You do see that essentially the longer tendrils that are like kind of wrapped around this guy's face are starting to shrink in, like contract back into this shadowy form, but it still seems attached. It does not seem to have the evil grin that it had before. It does seem a little troubled, but almost like it can't necessarily unattach at this moment. It has to like do this slowly, and you guys are not giving it like a good chance to do that. Jen, Hans' turn.
Okay. I'm gonna attack my clone.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a magic missile. And I don't have to roll anything for that, because that's guaranteed hit, right?
Yep, you just gotta roll the damage.
1d4 plus 1. Is that 1 for each d4, or just 1?
It's 1 for each d4.
Okay.
So it's a level 1 spell. It's basically +3.
Yeah, because you start. At level 1, you start with 3 darts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll do 3d4 plus 3 total.
Okay. Ten.
Okay, so when you fire off that magic missile, it strikes your double, and your double just kind of shatters. There's a glassy like sound, and black shards of glass fall to the ground. And
Look how strong I am.
he's not there anymore. I mean, there's bits of chunks of glass on the ground, but that's really all there is to it. Oliver, try Tyrhorn. It's your turn.
So, hefting the battle axe, I'm gonna push my way into the melee as well towards this shadowy creature. I'm like, all right, you amateurs, out of the way. I'll take care of this thing, and I'm gonna swing the battle axe with the booming blade.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 14 to hit.
That will hit, yes.
Okay. Then he is going to take 5 slashing damage. And then if it moves, it'll take the thunder damage.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's another slash, and more of this like kind of inky material starts to break apart from this thing. Let's see what we got now. That guy is gone. So we're actually at the top of the round. And Anika, it's your turn.
Um. I'm gonna slash again.
Okay.
Two, weapons? Like, what does that do for me? I have 2 short swords. Does that like boost anything, or like I don't know?
What your um, I'm trying to see. Like, I think you have. I think having them is fine, but I think you don't get. I think having more than one at this point. I don't think you get another attack.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, what are we talking about here?
Oh, two. Okay, when you take an attack action and attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different light weapon that you're holding in your other hand. The second attack, you don't add your ability modifier to the damage, so you would just do
Okay.
straight die. But you could make 2 attack. You would just basically be able to make 2 attacks if you have both weapons.
So how would I roll that?
Okay, you would roll the first attack would be just a straight plus 5. Yeah, +5. Both attacks would be at +5 to hit. So it would just be D20
Okay.
+5.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that's an 11.
Okay. That will not connect, but you can then roll your second attack at still +5.
And that's a 6. So
Okay. So you go in, you swing both your
dark
swords,
out.
and you just like into the darkness, not really connecting with anything. Then um, it cannot seem to do anything from its physical point, but you start to see another creature uh, kind of try to pull itself out of the mirror. It looks like a copy of this thing. It doesn't get too far out yet, but it looks like by the time like next turn comes around, it will have freed itself from the mirror.
That's not good.
Jess, it's Hiss's turn.
Okay, I want to attack the mirror itself.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go in with my rapier. Oh, okay. A 24 to hit. It's a
That will
mirror, so I'm assuming it will hit.
hit. Yes. Yes. 24 will hit.
And that's 9 damage.
Okay. When you crack the mirror, you start to see like additional cracks appear like on that creature that's kind of attached to the Kevin, you gotta. Oh, anyway, that's attached to the thing. There's some cracks that appear on this thing. Um, it, it it definitely now appears to be, even through the cracks. It seems to be like spreading out, like it's expelling like smoke that is like the equivalent of maybe bleeding wounds now at this point. So, yeah. The mirror damage to the mirror seems to have done damage to it and the creature trying to pull itself out of the mirror.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so Dubrin, your turn.
How is the guy I stabbed last time looking?
He's getting. He is now like you said. There are a couple of wounds that seem to be like pouring more of this dark, like kind of mist from it. This thing, in general, looks a lot worse off than it was just a round ago.
All right, I'm gonna go for another spear strike with both hands.
Okay.
That's only a 10.
Yeah, that will not connect. That was close.
Do I have any bonus actions? I don't think I have. Oh, I have a dagger. I'm gonna throw a dagger at it. Can I do that or no? No, that's only when you're fighting with two.
Yeah,
less
if
weapons.
you hadn't gone two-handed.
Yeah, if you hadn't used a
Yeah.
spear with 2 hands, yeah.
The more you know for next time.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Hans, you've now killed your evil
Wait.
twin. Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm an elephant. Can I hold the dagger with my trunk?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, you know what? I'll let you do that, but I'm gonna say in this case it's like an offhand weapon, so you wouldn't get the bonus damage. You would get the base just die damage from
Okay.
it.
All right. Dagger.
Yeah, I think you're like +3,
Yeah, it's 18 to hit. And
and
so
that will
that's a single point of damage.
okay.
It was worth it.
So you
More than I did.
do a single point of damage. So yes. Then we move on to Hans. You've killed your evil twin. There's now another creature appearing out of this mirror. There's been some cracks put in the mirror. The other creature is kind of looking like it's getting cracked. That's still on the farmer or on the fisherman. What would you like to do?
Wait, was that me?
Oh yes.
Oh, could you repeat what you said? I was kind of spacing out, actually.
Okay. You killed your evil twin last round.
Mhm.
There's another creature kind of trying to make its way out of the mirror. There's a couple cracks in the mirror. There's a couple cracks in the creature that's on the fisherman. You're kind of close to all of that, so not too far away from doing something to something, if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Oliver's character and ask, should I break the mirror?
Yes, absolutely. I good thing that you intuited what I was already thinking.
So you mean what I decided to do?
You also intuited exactly what I was thinking. Congratulations to you. You are very, very wise.
I do have a +1 in wisdom. Okay, I'm gonna use a firebolt on the mirror to try and break it the rest of the way.
Okay.
So I have to roll
Yep.
at my disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I have to show you guys this. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Okay. What do we got?
Hold on, I'm gonna take a screenshot real quick. If my screenshot tool would open.
Oliver, you'll be next in this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Good.
there you go.
That's the secret.
Sigh.
I rolled a crit 20 and a crit
Yeah.
1.
There you go.
I missed the mirror. Ooh, I think I missed. I'm sorry.
Wait, what did you use for a spell?
Firebolt.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you used magic missile. That's an auto hit.
Yeah.
I never claimed to be smart.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around, and I'm gonna say, no, you don't do it like that. You do it like this. And I'm gonna toss my battle axe right at the mirror.
Okay.
That's how you cast Firebolt.
That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
That will miss. No, that'll hit. Yeah, give me the damage.
That is gonna be 5 damage.
That's
So
not a firebolt.
That when that axe hits, that mirror splits, and as soon as like the mirror breaks, there's like a snap, and the individual creature like trying to come out just wisps away, and then the one that is like on top of the man turns to like almost like a stained glass image, and then fractures into pieces and falls down. At the same time, the man there ages an insane amount. It turns to dust,
Ooh, fuck.
and like the dust.
Hubert or whatever his name was.
Marvin, yeah,
Marvin.
Marvin, yeah, his good old name, Marvin. But at the same time, that dust kind of just flies up into the room, and it just gets in all of your eyes.
Uh-oh.
And a moment or two later, when you're able to sweep the dust from your eyes, you're in your individual beds completely elsewhere.
Mom, I just had a really weird dream.
Um, but
Fuck this.
we,
Go
we
back
have
to
to
sleep.
we have to focus in on Hans for just a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's still
Because-
diseased.
As Hans says, I've had a real weird dream. The black circle on his hand, like, just erupts, and from that circle is one of those shadows things that attaches to him, and we fade to black, and that is that for the night.
Oh shit, yo.
Okay.
Poor Hans.
Hmm.
Never had a chance.
Poor his mom too.
Oh no, his poor mother! All the shit she puts up with from that man.
No, it's got to go somewhere. So yeah, the key to that was the mirror, obviously, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys for coming along. There are a couple of references that were left out because you never went into the Shrewd Market or the S Mart. Mart. So you never got to meet the fantasy version of Ash Williams that ran that store with the mounted boomstick on the wall. But you know, there's that. Secondly, I did change a couple of things because I was trying to shoot for the 2-hour time frame. So there were a couple of things that we missed. Not anything too major, noticing that they really weren't necessary to moving the story along. But I want to thank you all for coming, and I had a okay time, and I hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
Want to say good nights to people, and can start with Chris. Normally, what we do is if we have a mention of like our social media, if that's something you do. If not, you can put it all. You don't have to say it. Just your name and then good night or something you're doing or not doing. It's up to you. You know what? Actually, Chris, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna have somebody else do it so you kind of get it just an idea. I'm sure it's very simple, but why don't you start, Jess?
Alrighty. You can find me at Sweet Nine Tails on Twitter and the Instagrams. I don't got a lot of shit going on right now. We're preparing for Christmas at work, even though today is Halloween, so I am constantly dead on my feet. Anyways, I'm gonna pass it back over to Chris now that we've had an example.
I'm not on Twitch or Twitter or anything really, but I do have the Instagrams at CCGENTES if you want to see pictures of other people's pets and food that I cook.
I love other people's pets. How
Yes.
did you know?
Valid.
Then you can normally just nominate someone else to go. It's up to you.
Oh, Oliver, your turn.
We usually let Oliver go last.
No, that's fine.
Oh.
I'm Oliver. I
breaking
was Oliver.
convention.
I am no longer Oliver, however, because the 2 hours are up, and I'm turning back into a pumpkin. I can't be found on any of those social media places. I don't have any of those things. I don't have an Instagram or a Twitter or anything. Where you can find me and you can find everyone else is our Discord, which is somewhere down below, presumably. So go there, find me, find everyone else, and talk about whatever. Other than that, yeah, this was a lot of fun. Tierhorn, I have no idea how Tierhorn would work in a longer length setting, but I would like to play him again, I think. So we'll move on to Katie now.
Hi, I'm Katie. I was playing Anika, and this was fun. I'm really bad at like throwing characters together, so I didn't have like as much thought put into her as I would have liked to. But this was super fun. If you want to find me, I am out there as Katie Bugs with a Z. I don't do a whole lot, but I'm out there. And I will pass to Jen.
Hello. You can find me on my Twitter at SummonerXI. Usually just yelling at people for having stupid political opinions and not wearing masks. We're in a fucking pandemic and nobody realized that. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm not really doing much, just playing FF14, and I don't have my job anymore, so I'm gonna be on time for our Monday games. So that's that.
And then I think it's just Derek left.
I guess I will end it by saying you can find me on Twitter at Derk DERK Awesome. Basically, National Novel Writing Month starts 2 hour or an hour and a half from now, so I'll probably be doing that in November.
Oh, I'm doing that too. I forgot about that.
I will also be like all of from late September to now. I've been watching like nonstop horror movies like every night. I'll also be, probably continue to do that because that's just who I am. But also, you can catch me occasionally on the Friday Humblewood game that Nick runs, and they will be back on Monday. Jess and Oliver and Nick and Jen and a few others for their Monday night game. And that's pretty much everything going on for everybody. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Halloween and have a good night, everybody.
Peace
Good night.
out, y'all.